Hi, welcome back to Books and Bullshit.
On this episode, we're going to be talking about All He'll Ever Be by W. Winters. What? You just got to laugh at the book name? I know it was pretty mid, but
I mean,
not that.
wasn't inaccurate though when he didn't grow at all.
He grew on the last very 5 pages after he got shot. He somehow had a come to Jesus moment, I think. I don't fucking know. He was all like, wait, you're pregnant? We don't have to tell the kid how much of a monster I was. You mean the monster
I think she should probably run away at this point, get some therapy.
You mean the monster you've been the whole fucking time? There was no change?
Time. I mean, I didn't even finish it because, like I was telling you, it's just, it was a romanticization of Stockholm Syndrome, which was really hard, but also just like, a little bit for the writing style. It's just repetitive.
It was so repetitive. It was like every single book they had the same issue that they had in book one. It felt like nothing ever was truly resolved and there was never any really real growth. But what really pissed me off was, like, I think it was maybe book two or book three or whatever, like at the end of one of the books, he has like her cousins and like her best friend, and he has a gun to their head, so then she puts a gun to his head and isn't even going to pull the trigger. She just has a gun there so that way they're forced to let her cousins and best friend go, which throughout the whole story she's literally told them, like, if you kill my family, I'm going to hate you. Like, I will hate you. There'll be nothing you can do to make me not hate you. And after
the end, put a baby in her, apparently.
Well, no, because then he doesn't kill her family. I mean, the dad dies, but the dad also killed her mom and was going to kill her. Her best friend actually ends up killing the dad because the dad was about to murder her. And so then after the end of that, she was literally like, okay, we're done. I'm now taking over my family because I'm the last of my line technically for this, and I'm saying we're all going to conjoin, and you all aren't going to kill each other anymore. And everybody went back because they all at that point wanted to kill Romano because the Carter family found out that Romano was the one that put the hit out on Jace, which is why their younger brother died, because his younger brother was wearing Jace's hoodie. So the person who hit the younger brother thought they were killing Jace because of the hoodie they were wearing, and they looked super identical. And so they found out that, and they're like, okay, so you killed our brothers. Now we're going to go after you. And then, of course, the Towery family hated the Romano family. So they were like, yeah, no, we also want to kill him. So they decided to join for that. But no, at the end of her putting a gun to his head, the very next book, she leaves. She flees to, like, into that safe thing, and he hates her. He goes, I can't believe she would betray me like this. And I'm like, oh, wow, you're calling that a betrayal? You were going to kill her family?
She locked her in a basement for 2 weeks.
I was like, you literally were going to kill her family in front of her. The one thing she told you not to fucking do, and you're all surprised that she held a gun to your head. And he was such a baby bitch, but, like, he couldn't let it go. Like, the whole time he's like, I don't know if we can move past this because you held a gun to my head. Like, motherfucker.
You locked her in a basement.
Like, his whole thing about, like, why he started treating her even more like shit and, like, being just even more atrocious and vicious and cold-hearted was the fact that she held a gun to his head and chose her family over him, and how he couldn't believe she would do that, and like how he's like, all I've been trying to do is, like, make you be the woman I think you should be and the woman you can be, like, trying to push you to better yourself.
That just sounds even worse.
Like, I was just like, you're part of this world. Like, you're supposed to, like, you need to, like, know, like, no matter what you decide to do with the family name that you have. Like, bitch, I'll change my name today. I'll flee to a different country. I'll flee to a different fucking country with a different fucking name. Like, what the fuck do you mean I'm born into this world and I'm stuck? Bitch, I'll leave.
Yeah, and it's just also the fact that, like, the main character had, like, a good amount of fight at the beginning, and then, like, literally by the end of book one, it's, like, gone.
It's gone.
And then, like, I went online, because, like I said, I was really struggling, so I went online and read some reviews, and it talks about how, like, she never even gets that fight back.
No.
Really. Not really. The whole time, just Stockholm Syndrome being romanticized, not good writing, very repetitive, just...
Well, literally, like,
straight up abuse.
By the end, she's literally just like, I know he's bad for me, and I know I shouldn't love him, but I do. And I'm literally like...
And now I'm having his baby! I hate the pregnancy trope. I'm so sorry. Like, I'm kind of glad I didn't read it all the way to the end just for her to get fucking knocked up by him. Ew.
Yeah, no, she finds out she's pregnant, so then she flees the house, and then she gets back, and then Nikolai, like, saves her in the woods and, like, takes her back home, and then it's back home where she sees, like, the Cross family's house and then a picture of her mom, and she's talking to her dad, and the dad, tells her about how, like, yeah, he blew up the Cross family home and X, Y, and Z, and how he was the one that got her mom killed. Which, by the way, I feel like he was fully justified in doing, because he killed the mom. Which happened is the mom was actually betrothed to his brother, because the brother was supposed to be the one that took over the family. But the brother got killed before he could take over. But she was already pregnant with the brother's child. So Arya isn't actually her father's kid. He's her uncle technically, but he raised her. And so he decided to marry the mom, and he's like, we'll raise the kid if it's ours. He goes, I will fully take care of you and like do all that. He's like, but you're stuck. Like, you're stuck. And then when Arya was like 8, she met somebody else, fell in love, and wanted out of the family because she wanted to be with the man she loved. So she put a hit out on Arya's dad. And in that moment, he was like, it was killed or be killed. She had a hit out on me, so I put a hit out on her, and she died. And I'm literally over here like, look, when you're from that world, you can't put a hit out on a man and expect him not to do the same to you.
Right.
And she's literally like, I can't believe you'd kill my mom. Did you forget your mom tried to kill your dad? Like, he didn't have to take you all in.
Your daddy uncle.
Right? Like, he didn't have to raise you.
Right.
He could have let her flounder, but he was like, but I loved your mom. I loved her, even though she was supposed to be with my brother. But she only loved me for our money and our power. And then she met someone that she truly loved, and she wanted out, but it was too late by then.
Like,
and she's like, I can't believe you would kill her. And like, she's like having this full mental breakdown. And then like Carter breaks in and he shoots Carter. And then she's just holding on to him, like trying to stop the bleeding. And he's literally like, get up, you're being pathetic. Like, let me finish him. And then like, I will die. You can take over the family name. And she's like, no, I love him. And he's like, fine. And I guess he's like, what a disappointment you've been. It was just going to kill her. So then Nikolai walks in on that and shoots the dad. And then the boat was supposed to come to her, and then she looks up and sees that it's Nikolai, and her dad falls over. But I'm also in my head just thinking, man, you were a disappointment to your fucking father. Like, he spent 18 years raising you, protecting you, and like in his mind, you love him, but even in his mind, he was like, it's okay, we'll get you some help. Like, I understand with what you've been through, you are confused. We'll help you through it. It's fine. Because her dad probably fall over here. He's like, yeah, this is some Stockholm syndrome if I've ever fucking seen it.
Seriously.
Like, I'm not saying her dad was a good man. He wasn't. He did like go after the Cross boys. He did do some fucked up shit. And even he admits that he is not a good person. But you know what? You're in a lifestyle where no one in that world is a good human fucking being.
Yeah, like you can't expect to find goodness where there is none.
Like, they are all kind of shitty people for different fucking reasons. At least the dad fucking owns it, and I think that was my biggest problem, because I'm over here just like, the whole time I'm reading it, all I can think about is how she's upset about like what her dad has done, and I'm literally just like, dude, he was just doing what like he was supposed to do for his world and his life. Like, he was just protecting his family, and it's a man eat man world in that like setting, and like, if you don't kill, but he's gonna get killed, and then they're gonna kill your family.
No, don't you know in that situation you're just supposed to fucking die like a champ?
But like, in her mind, she was like, there's unspoken rules where you don't go after children and you don't go after women, and he went after my mom, and I'm like, but she was trying to kill him. I'm sorry, I think the rule of you don't go after women or children
only applies to the like ones who aren't actively participating in the shiznit.
It only applies to other families. It's like a thing like where like, because those other families could end up one day being your allies. They may be your enemies now, but because they might be your allies one day, it's an unspoken rule that you never go after women and children. Because like, yeah, okay, you killed my men, but like now we can still be allies. If you go after the women and children, it's like a cross. He didn't go after anyone else's woman. He went after his own because she was trying to kill him.
Right? It was a ridiculous book.
I somehow made it through. I don't know how I did. It was a fucking struggle, especially because every book I was reading while reading that book was absolutely fucking mid-tier. Because I was reading that book, and then I was reading this one. It was an Anita Blake like vampire book, like vampire hunter book that I spun my wheel that I have for my books, and that was just a fucking book. It was pretty mid, but like I kind of expected it. It was like a shitty romance book, and I was like, and then I was reading Fathom Folk with Aubrey at the same time, and that book we were both like, oh, this has gone good reviews. It was also very fucking mid. We only liked 2 fucking characters in that fucking book, and they killed one at the end.
Oh God!
There were only 2 likable characters, and they killed one.
I read Divine Fate, which was really good. It's number 4 in the series of the Blood Oath series, and it was actually really good because it's about this girl who was raised in the Nether by this guy named Amadeus, and he raised her to be like the scourge of the earth, which it like basically he ripped out her heart and she had a shadow heart. He had necromancers like experience. He like honed her into this perfect weapon, and then he was releasing her into like our world in order to kill the immortal quintet, which is like the leaders of all the supernatural beings. And so she comes in, and then she goes to this college, and like she meets her quintet, and she like they go through a bunch of stuff, and the last one basically wrapped up with her becoming like a demigoddess of the Nether and ruling it with her quintet where they'll live forever. Happy ending, but very good storyline all overall. And then I also read Feathers So Vicious, which was really good, which I'm still reading the second one because it started to lose me a little bit, but it's pretty like it's decent. Like I like the storyline more than I like the smut.
Fair.
And then I've been reading Forged in Blood as well, which is really good, but that's the tampon book.
I remember you telling me about that one yesterday.
Yeah, the tampon popsicles.
Yes.
I still think that if you are a vampire and you are going to consume menstrual blood, a diva cup would be a more pleasant experience than nomming on a tampon.
Probably.
I do have a lot of questions about the blood clots, though. I'm kind of hoping maybe the book, like, I know this, like, I'm not into it, but, like, do they eat the clots, or are those, like, oh, no, I don't want it once it, because, like, you know, a blood clot is from, like, you know, the blood, like, hardens up a little bit, like, is that like because it's not smooth and velvety like the red wine of the veins, I don't like want it? Or is that like a, oh my god, bonus snack? That's like the biggest question this book's given me. Overall, the storyline's actually really pretty decent. Yeah, I like the idea of them having like the vampires, the werewolves, the witches, and then the elementi, which like control the elements themselves. And the way they explain the magic is they don't like, you know, like witches or even lycans or vampires, they have to like pull magic to them to utilize it. The elementi like naturally have it, so like they could be in a wind tunnel and still make fire.
Yeah.
And so like that's actually like really, really cool. And so it's been pretty interesting. And I know it has some other books in this series. And then I read one more, and I learned that it didn't have. It's the first one in a series, and the second one doesn't come out till July. But all three are slated for this year because it's like one of those like novella type books. It's only like 300 pages, but it was really good. I wish I remembered more details for you, but I've also been pounding a lot of werewolf smut.
I'm also currently reading the Holloway Book of the Dead. That one's also pretty mid. It's one's in my bag that I'm hoping to finish by today, so I can move on. Because the one that I'm reading now with Aubrey is The City Stained Red is the one we're going to be starting. And then the next book I pulled for my book that's going to replace this book is I pulled The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. I'm going to start that one.
You know, I own that one. It's on my shelves. I have not read it yet.
Yeah, nope. It's the Wheel of Fortune spun that one, so that's my next pick for myself.
I moved all of my books, and I should have downloaded one of the book apps when I was doing that, so while I was reorganizing them, I could have just scanned them, because now they're all on the black shelves in my room.
Yeah, you should have. I would say to use the bookshelf one, the one that I switched to, because you can organize it. You can have it like all in one, and then you can go to your shelves and you can organize it by genre.
Because I probably should start reading through a few more of my physical books. I'm starting to get a little bit bored on Kindle. I've been on there for like 5 years now, and I'm not finding a lot of stuff that feels like as good as when I first started reading
the Kindle. Yeah, no, that's fair. I feel like it's been hard because like this book was such a struggle to get through because it was so repetitive. Like book 1 felt the same as book 4.
I want another book like Games Gods Play.
Well, I want another book.
I want number 2 of that to come out.
Me too. I'm so excited.
I'm also like, I think it's so funny going through, like, we read books like this and we're like, oh my god, it's such garbage. And then our first book, you know, Quicksilver, we were like, oh, it's all right. And now I think back to Quicksilver and I'm like, I did not appreciate that fucking book the way I probably should have after some of the straight swill we had to consume.
I'm not gonna lie, so because, you know, we've been doing the jar thing, I have been looking at this jar just yelling at it all week, like, you better pick a good fucking book. Good book. I'm like, don't disappoint me.
Yeah,
Mike has been looking at me like I'm a little bit crazy. He's like, why are you yelling at an inanimate object?
Because we need a good book. It's been really, really hard to.
Because that's what we did with because like Aubrey and I used the same spin wheel app that I use for like my books. It's just we did a one that has like all the books that we have together in one wheel. And so whenever we're picking what our next book is, we just spin the wheel. And we've been getting really mid books. And so we both were just like dogging on it in our call. And then she spun it and she goes, "We got the City Sandlot," which is actually a book that she has already read, but she reads like twice a year because it's just a really good fucking book. And I haven't read it, but I own it. And so she's like, "It's a good book. We're gonna like this one."
Oh, that's nice.
And I'm like, "Oh, thank God."
That's my hope for whenever we pull When the Moon Hatched, is that because I've read it a few different times and it'll be your first time reading it. I just can't wait to see your reactions to those.
I'm like, because I think I put in this one and the one with Aubrey because Aubrey also bought that one and hasn't read it, and she was like, "We should read that one together."
But that's the number one I other than Hunted and Assembly that I've been like, you have to read it, you have to read it, you have to read it. So its name better be in the jar. All three of those better. But anyways, because Hunted and Assembly are the other two I want you to read.
Oh, I don't think I've put it in the jar yet, just because I haven't bought the books yet.
Yeah.
So
they're free on Kindle, so you can always borrow my physical copies, and I can read it on Kindle.
Oh, that's true. When I was doing the jar, I was putting ones that I knew we already had that we had talked about. I know there's more we need to add into the jar. Okay, I can't remember if I.
When the Moon Hatched is like that's how I feel about that book. Even Sam, my sister, has read it a couple times. She just started highlighting her copy officially because she's like, I need to like take fucking notes. Me and her are gonna start doing that thing where we each get a book and we read it and then we make the notes in it and then we're gonna ship them to each other and read them and do the notes and then send them back so we can both have our copies back but with the notes both of us made.
I can't remember if I put When the Moon Hatched in the jar. We can go through it after this episode and see what else we need to add. I'm not gonna lie, when I was making the jar up, I was just putting books that I knew for a fact were on our list.
Yeah.
Which means but that's the whole nice thing with the jar. We can add things to it. It's
never ending, basically. As long as we're still doing this.
Even if we're not, it can be never ending.
Shout out to the 4 fucking people who watch. Hey, notice that we consistently on YouTube 4 views, 4 views, 4 views, 4 views. I'm like, damn. Thanks, 4 fans.
Well, I mean, for me, it's also even we still have a jar. We can still have our read time together, no matter what.
Yeah.
But I think it'll be good too. I know it's been a while since we've made an episode, but that's
just lazy motherfuckers. We're lazy. I think this would be the perfect point to bring up. We've been getting our Discord up.
Yeah.
And we've been getting a Twitch set up.
Which both should hopefully be good to go by end of this weekend.
Yeah, so next podcast they should be up.
They should be up. We're working on the last bits of the Discord and the Twitch to get fully set up and ready to go. And links out by end of weekend is the tentative date.
Yeah, so 4 fucking people who watch, enjoy.
If you want to join the Discord we have for the books and bullshit, it's gonna have every book we've read as its own little channel that everybody can discuss on.
Yeah, so you can join us in our discussions too, and our Twitch will be up to be able to join us live when we record and edit.
Or when we decide to read together, and even with non-podcast books, when we're just
book club related content for the Discord and Twitch. So it's more of a book club for everyone else.
Yeah.
Not just us.
Not just us.
Not just us talking shit all the time to the internet.
to the ether.
Yeah, yes.
But I don't have a lot to say about this book, other than I feel like it could have been one fucking book and didn't need to be 4.
If you really are really, really into Stockholm Syndrome, this shit is probably for you. Just like Haunting Adeline was.
Also, if you're into a 4-book series where every book is the same fucking book in and of itself,
again,
for you.
And you know what, Topley? If you really just like a main character who seems like she's gonna have some fight and then has all of it literally die in a matter of chapters, also for you.
Yeah, and she never gets that fight back. It's gone. Ever.
If you just want to watch a woman get beaten down, terrorized into sex, locked in a basement, perfect book for you.
Perfect.
Sounds like anyone who read Haunting Adeline would probably really like this book, because that was like my big issue with Haunting Adeline too, is how are you gonna show up gang, well, not gang, I guess he's one person, I guess the multiple personalities that seem to live in his head make it a gang, but like, you're gonna gun fuck her
and then just leave her in pieces.
and then show up several other times to sexually assault her.
I have a heart.
And she's just like, oh my god, I love him so much. By the end, her best friend Lily looks at her and goes, you know, maybe it's not that he's dangerous or violent. Maybe it's just that he likes you and he just doesn't know how to show it the right way. The best friend, who by the way doesn't know that she's been sexually assaulted, only knows that she has been getting stalked, had a man's hand cut off, is getting threatened, and like, you know, that's fine. He's just going about it the wrong way.
Bitch,
that's like if I walked up and yanked your hair and went, sorry, I just like you too much.
Like, the way I would slap you if you were like, I just don't know that he's doing all this. Like, the way I would slap you, dye your hair, change your facial features, and move you to a different fucking country.
You know what I mean? And her best friend's like, well, maybe he likes you and he's just going about it the wrong way. And she's like, you know what? Yeah. I'm a fuck with it. I'm a fuck with it. And I was just like,
but so ain't a friend.
Like, what?
I also, for me, like, I like dark romance. I really do. But I also like it when it's more like a dark romance where, like, he will, like, yeah, you know, maybe he's a little bit fucked up to her, but, like, it's all, like, you know, like, but he's mainly
dark romance where, like, book 1, there's conflict. Maybe he's not great to her. Book 2 is when they start to, like, make up.
But I'm okay if he's completely unhinged and kills people. Like, that's fine. Like, there's that one where, like, he murders her whole family because they're abusive to her, and he apologizes for waking her up. Like, that's some top shit.
This book was like Ain, and that, like, you know, she like pissed herself a couple different times, and he like mocked her off of one of it, and like it wasn't bad, but by the end of the book he really loved her. But again, that book was so hard to digest because there's just this section where it's not just like he's being mean and making snide remarks or maybe just not showing much care. Like, he's fucking other people. He mocks her when she pisses herself. Like, there isn't a come to God moment for him until she's kidnapped by someone else, and even and then like the torture on Paige was just like,
I will admit, like, I also like the ones where they're both unhinged together, like when like they both are stalking each other, like they're both just fucking crazy. That's my kind of cup of dark romance. I like when they're both psychotic.
Or like, and does it hurt when he's like fucking her on the boat and he shoves her head into the shark infested waters, and it, like, they describe it, and he like almost bit through her fucking lip before he shoves her head in those waters. Like, yeah, it was dark, but it got good, and by the end of the book he would have like fucking died for her. You know what I mean? Like, I want an unhinged guy who's maybe not great, but by like, mid to end, especially if it's like a singular book or even in a series, typically by the end of book 1 he has like a come to God moment, and then book 2 he's like working his ass off to repair it and like reassuring her, and then like book 3 is where they become a team, and book 4 is where the grand finale of them actually killing the bad guy happens.
I also don't mind if he stays completely unhinged to everyone else but her. That's
great. In Blood Oath, she's got one of her partners is a incubus who lords over limbo to keep something called wisps under control.
Yeah.
Because if the wisps tear through limbo, they like shred humans apart, like they eat them basically. And so he has to go like fight those, and the whole entire time he's able to like pop into people's minds and drive them insane. And he like casually does this for his main love interest. At one point he collects her up like a bundle of people's fingers after a slaughter happens and gives them to her as like a fucking bouquet. Like, you know, when they kill the necromancer who like tortured her, he brings her back bits of him to be like, for you. Because I knew you would love it, because you're like hella fucked up and you love that I'm like a maniac. And even in the beginning of the books, the guys are like, he's obsessed. Like, he literally, like, he killed one of the other of the Quintet's members. Yeah. Whole fucking family, drove them fucking insane, and they killed themselves. And he like, everyone still, he's insane, and he's like, I'm not insane, I'm obsessed. I'm obsessive. I'm obsessed with her. I'll kill anyone for her. I don't care. They look at her funny, I'm gonna drive them insane. I loved it.
Yeah, no, see, that shit's great. I also don't mind when they are rude to the female character in the beginning, as long as they get fucking better. Like, even like the one I was saying, like where like he kills her whole family and he apologizes for waking her up. Like that was also fine. You want to know why? Because their family was abusive. He was just killing her abusers, and she was chill with it. Also great.
You know what I mean? It's just like it. This isn't. I don't like when books like Ain or even All He'll Ever Be get qualified as dark romance, because I don't think that's romance. And I don't think that's dark romance, because like dark romance, normally there comes a certain point within the book, no matter what, where he is dark to everyone else, not to her. She is his light. She is his salvation. She is the only person in the world that he can be any form of soft with. That's what you want out of dark romance. You don't want a partner that essentially abuses them the whole entire time, and then they end up so brainwashed. They're like, yeah, this is okay now, as they're still treating them like shit.
And I guess like for this one, like the All He'll Ever Be one, they were saying like it like in the other books that follow the other characters, even though they're not the main love interest anymore, their story in romance is still shown. And you get more bits and pieces of that. But I'm like, I don't want that shit.
A flying fuck. I don't want to hear another moment about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't give 4 pages of 4 books of Stockholm Syndrome and then turn around and go, oh, well, when you read my other books, you'll actually get to see them improve. It's like, no, we should have seen that in the 4 fucking thick-ass book you gave us.
Yeah.
A book is not this thick, and then you tell me at the end of it, and someone else's whole story is when I'll get some glimpses of it actually being good.
Yeah, they're like
that's not good storytelling.
They're like, their story continues in like this person's book, and I'm like, I don't want to read their story no more. They pissed me the fuck off.
Fuck the other person's story. Fuck all the other stories. I hated it. I hated it. I hated it in a way that like I didn't even finish it. And I was able to buck it up and finish fucking Ain, and that book had a girl's leg carved like a spiral fucking ham, graphically in vivid detail on page.
It did.
Still finished it.
Yeah, I finished this one.